Hello everyone. Today's video I wanted to go over an option for version control in your games that you're creating with Pixel Game Maker or any other engine really. And that option is going to be called sync.com. Now, Sync is a cloud service that is very similar to Dropbox. And if you've ever used Dropbox, especially Dropbox Business, one of the advantages that it has over the other cloud storages is that when you are saving your progress on your machine, because there's an application that you download, the Dropbox app, and then as you're saving it on your machine, it's uploading it into the cloud and it leaves these green check marks next to files that are uploaded. So if I clicked in, say, the audio here, you'll see that all of my audio are check marked, meaning that they are loaded and stored on the cloud. All right, so Dropbox Business does that. However, Dropbox Business is expensive. It's $45 and you have to have a minimum of 3 people on it. So we're talking, it's a lot of money. So here's where Sync comes in. This example that I'm showing you is actually Sync. The green check marks also happen in Dropbox, so I just wanted to show that. But this is actually Sync, and the cool thing about Sync is that it does this, but it does this for free. All right. So all you do is you go to sync.com. I also have a link in the description below for it, and you'll sign up your free account. You'll get 5 GB free, which is all you need for a Pixel Game Maker game, even a large one. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that when you do sign up for it, that you also download the application. All right. So you're going to download it and you're going to install it on your computer, and you're going to pick a spot where the sync folder is going to store on your PC. And in my particular case, I put it in the download section. So you can see right here, this is where my sync folder is. It's got a green check mark, meaning that it is ready to go and it's all synced up. All right, so this is the application again. So when I click into here, this is everything that is on my cloud now. All right, so these are all the team shares that I'm a part of currently that are on my cloud. And we can see this by I'm going to open up my sync right here. And you can see that this is the sync cloud and all of these folders are exactly the same ones that are right here. And so if I clicked into, say, the game Spell Blaster and I click into here, we would have all the same content. Now you can actually use this as the storage area, but the application is so much easier because you can just all do it from your Windows and you don't have to keep uploading it. You can just drag it into this normal window, which we're really used to using, and then it uploads it automatically. So for instance, in this folder right here, if I was to just say grab a random video and paste it into here, you'll see now it has a blue kind of loading. It now has a check mark and you can see that it just loaded in right here. So just to make it clear again, anything that you put in this folder is going to go into the cloud and will be there. And if I put in a longer video, let's say I put in, well, I'll just do one of my tutorials I made here and we'll copy and paste it into here. We can see that it's that blue circle. I just wanted to show that blue circle for a little longer. And so means that it is syncing and that you probably shouldn't use that file yet, okay? You don't want to use it until it's green. And then if you were on the recipient end, like if one of your teammates was uploading a file into this, while you are downloading it, it will also be blue. And so you don't want to use it until it's a green check mark. So that's one thing that is really nice about this cloud storage versus other ones. One, it's you get this for free, and then two, you get the green check marks that tell you, okay, you're okay to use this file, which is huge, really, when you're sharing between teammates. You can see that it still hasn't loaded yet. Also, down here on this icon, you can see you can hover it, and it shows that it's uploaded 46%. All right. And you can see that there's a little circle thing that's going around the icon. That's how you know that it's syncing. So you could be uploading or downloading something, and this will be happening, and then it will show you your progress. So this is a little longer video, so that's why it's taken so long on this. can also right click this icon here and you can get some different options. And one thing that we will go into here, we can pause the sync. And then when you click pause, you can unpause it. I don't want to pause it until this video is done here. Eventually, when it is done, it will pop up on here on the cloud storage. So while it's loading, there is some other things that we can do actually. If we went to our main directory here, this is where you can start setting up team shares. So you can click a new shared folder right here. And I'm not going to do this because it's going to throw up emails and everything. But you can click on new shared folder. You can name it. And then what's going to happen is it will pop up that new folder right here. And it will look similar to this where it has like a human kind of look icon thing. All right. And similar to this on the folder. And then from there, what you can do is you can actually click on this option right here, share, for instance, and you can say manage share. Now, when you click into manage share, you can then start to invite people. You can put on their email address, you can click add, and then it will invite them to this folder. And if they don't have an account, it'll invite them to create an account and then download the app because the app's just the best way to do this. And so then once you have team shares like this, which you can see that all of these are actually team shares. I don't have a single personal folder from Sync. These are all team shares. Now, between the teammates, you can start sharing these folders. So anything that I do in this folder will happen in that other teammates folder. All right. And what's cool about it is that this folder, I have certain teammates that I share with. This folder, I have certain teammates that I share with. This folder, different certain teammates, and so on and so on. So you can be a part of as many different teams as you want, and yet you're only sharing that one folder together. And the other thing to point out is that here is the PGM folder actually. So for our master project, we actually put it in the sync folder. And it's right here, and you can see we have our animations folder. Here's the Pixel Game Maker project. All right. And so what we can do now is we can open up Pixel Game Maker, and you'll have to move your Pixel Game Maker project into that sync. Once again, let it sync up. You can see now that there's a check mark on this icon right here. That means that everything is synced up. And then what you're going to have to do is you're going to go to File, you're going to open your project, you're going to go to where your folder is, and then you're going to go to that certain team share, and then you're going to go into the project, and then you're going to open it up from here. And so once you open it up from here, you're going to get something like this, which says that you are, from your downloads, your sync folder, and then the actual project. All right, so now that we have added the sync project to this, we can click into it. And so anything that we do in this project now is going to be updated into our sync project. I can go like this to make the icons a little smaller. So now what we can do is we can simply go to, say, playtest here, and you'll see that the sync is uploading something, uploading a change, all right? And that's because when you do click playtest, you auto save whatever current progress you have, you auto save it onto your playtest JSON. You can also do it to your actual project, and let me explain that a little bit. So in the data folder, we have a project.json and a test.json. Now, if we want to, we can save it to the project.json on every playtest, or we can also just save it to a test.json for every playtest and not save it to the project until we actually want it to be on the project. And how you do that is by going to Tools and Options, and you can see that Save Project on Playtest. I currently have it not selected. I find that sometimes it can just be smoother if I save it when I want to and not rely on it saving every playtest. And this is both with a cloud service and without a cloud. And so what we can do here is we can go to transitions, let's just say, and let's just change a quick transition. Instead of starting at the title screen, I'm going to start at the world map. And I'm going to hit playtest, and we're going to see that the test.json has a blue loading or uploading symbol to it. All right, so I can close this and we can see that it is now uploading the new test JSON to this project folder. All right, and we can also see down here that it's doing the same thing, and it's 88% done. And there it is, it's done. So now I want to show that we can actually upload to the project.json as well. I'm going to change this link back to title screen. I'm going to go to tools and say options, save on playtest, click OK, click playtest, and then see that now the project.json is the one changing. All right, so we can have this where we can either save it onto the project directly, or we can save it onto a test.json while we're playtesting. And then when we want to actually save the project, we can Control S or File Save. I personally prefer to save when I want to save, so I usually have this checked off. Now, one of the most important things to consider when you are going about changing in your project, let's just say I change this back to world map, and then let's say that I want to save it manually. So I'm going to hit Control S, it's going to save the project. Now, at this point, you can see that it's syncing, it's downloading, or uploading, however you want to look at it. And what we do want to do is we're not going to touch anything until it's done, all right? And that's just part of the game when you are syncing and doing version control type things. Which is the next thing we'll get into is version control. So we're just going to wait. We're going to wait for it to have a check mark right here. It's about 34. So we're uploading and downloading something. So that means that someone from another team share I'm in is doing some work. So now we're just downloading some stuff. So the upload is actually probably complete. All right. And I can check this by clicking right here and right here. We can see that my upload is complete. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually downloading. It might be Hyblitz working on Mira. And so, but I'm downloading his changes right now. So, but as far as Spellblaster goes, it's complete. And now I can move on and we can make more changes and stuff like that. I just want to reiterate though, that when you do save, let it load, let it settle, and then go on and do some more changes. And the other thing to note, I guess, while I'm in the editor is that one teammate at a time in the project. You can't have two people at the same time in the project. You're going to want one person at a time. And the other thing is that when the other person leaves the project, so once I exit, let's say, the other person is going to want to give it about 5 minutes to let sync trigger to upload, basically. So you don't want to go in and out too quick of a project is all I'm trying to say. You want to give the person that's exiting, you want to give time to upload to the next person before they come in. And this is just standard for when you're sharing a same project like this. The nice thing about this is you only need one project for the whole team, but the downside is there's just some rules and some things you need to follow. All right, so now let's get into one of the coolest parts about using a cloud storage for your project is the version control that you get with it. So let's just say that you made a change to your project JSON that you need reverted. All right, so you can go into your folder here. You can go into your project folder. Note that this is only able to be done on the actual website. So you have to come into the website, navigate it through here, and then you're going to go to your data, and then it's the project.json. This is the big one. This is the one where if something went wrong, this is what needs to be reverted usually. And there's a couple tricks. Sometimes you can actually copy the test JSON, rename it to project.json, and then throw it back in this folder and copy over this or save over it, I guess. And you can save it that way. You might be able to save it that way. But with sync, it just makes it really easy. If you need to go back versions, you just click on these buttons or these three dots. You click on version history, let it load, And now you're going to see every time that you saved on the project JSON, which today has been quite a bit. And what you're going to do is you are going to go to one, let's just say the one that I did just 3 minutes ago, and you're going to click restore, and it's going to come up and it's going to say this is going to be the current one. All right. So same as the current. So that is how you can restore these things, and you can see that it was restored by the web. All right. Tells you where you restored it from. See if we had some other ones. Nah. And here you can see that this one was saved by sudo. So you can just see your whole version history. I think it keeps it up to 30 days too. So it's very, very handy. So we went over how to get an account for Sync. We went over how to use the application in your on your Windows. We learned how to use Sync in the editor, and some of the things to consider while you're using it. And then last, we learned how to use version control with Sync. So this is a program that I've been personally using since RPG Maker and a little bit with Unity. Although with Unity and engines that rely heavily on typed code, you're probably better off with like a GitHub, something like that, where you can micromanage your code. For engines like RPG Maker or Pixel Game Maker, where you're using a JSON that is basically one JSON for your whole project, and you're not really micromanaging the code inside the editor, this is just the perfect way to store and be able to access version history if you need to. And also to share these files with a team that you might be working on, so you're not all having to constantly send zips back and forth. You just have one local master project that you're all working on, and then you just have to make sure that everyone is synced up before you use the files. So with that said, I hope this helps, and we'll see you at the next video.